I wonder if some of the fans that go to these shows, if they ever go home going, nobody got thrown off the stage tonight. Are they upset if that doesn't happen at every show?
Why hasn't any wrestling promoter started using a cannon yet? Like the circus does. I mean, it goes against everything I believe in with professional wrestling, but I think it would get a pop.
You know what? We could have done that in the 90s with Vader. Have you seen that clip?
Vader?
The old sideshow guy, the guy that they shoot the cannonball into the fucking guy's stomach and they show it in slow motion in black and white from the 30s or whatever. We could have done that with Vader.
I meant put the guy in the cannon and shoot him to the other side of the arena.
No, I want to see somebody get shot with a cannonball.
None of the strongmen ever did it. Where was Patera with a cannon? That would have worked.
Do you remember the same night that Jerry Lawler wrestled Andy Kaufman in Memphis? Lawler was double booked that night because they couldn't just have Lawler against Kaufman. They had to have Lawler advertised to actually wrestle a real match, right, to make it kind of legitimate.
Well, let me stop you right there, because a lot of fans probably don't realize that, and they probably think Andy Kaufman versus Jerry Lawler was the main event, and that was all Lawler did that night. Explain why what you just said made sense, why it wasn't the only match he did that night. It couldn't have been.
Well, it couldn't have been, but it was advertised as the main event in the newspaper, and that's all the attention was on it, but they didn't want people to, well, it wasn't supposed to be any kind of match for Lawler. There was no doubt that Lawler was going to rip Kaufman limb from limb and beat him in some fashion. That's what the people paid to see because they were mad at Kaufman. They wanted to see him beat up. But at the same time, to advertise the rest of the card, they advertised Lawler in a Southern title match against a guy named the Monk, who was a member of Jimmy Hart's first family, is the heel stable. Because that way, Lawler's wrestling an actual match on the card in defense of the Southern heavyweight title. And that made it more legit. It's not like that Lawler's going to break a sweat on Kaufman, right? But he's got a real match, too.
With the Monk.
With the Monk. Well, of course, when they did the match, they locked up and Lawler backed him up into the ropes and drew back and hit him with one right hand and knocked him out. Boom, covered 1, 2, 3. And the people blew. They loved it. Yay! And Jimmy Hart pitched a fit. But the deal was the way they promoted the thing. The guy that was named the Monk, he was a younger guy. He was in his 20s. I don't know where he came from. And I don't know if he ever went anywhere else. But he was in a territory for several weeks, and he was a different kind of guy. I'm not sure he was all there. And he had a bald head and this really weird face, and he'd wear the monk robe, and he looked, and he was a big raw bone kid, as they used to say. But he told to promote this match, he told Jimmy Hart, I want you to hit me in the stomach with a baseball bat. What? Yeah, Jimmy Hart's going to be promoing the match, and he's going to show everybody how indestructible the Monk is. And the Monk had told him, yeah, I'm going to stand there. I want you to hit me in the stomach with the baseball bat. Don't worry, you won't hurt me, right? I can do this. God damn it. So Hart's cutting the promo, and the Monk's standing there. He spreads his robe out and everything. And Hart takes the baseball bat. And he said, look at this, Lawler. You can't hurt this guy. And he hit him in the stomach with the baseball bat. And the Monk, he didn't double over. But God, I've never seen a look of more misery on a human being's face. And you can see he's just trying not to fucking put it over. He's trying not to go. He's trying not to puke. And see Lawler, and Jimmy reared back almost like he was going to do it again. And the Monk kind of turns away. And he got back in the fucking locker room, and he and he took his fucking. I think he might have been wearing a tank top, or if he wasn't, he opened the robe or whatever, and there was an imprint of a baseball bat right across his fucking stomach. Yeah, all that to get knocked out in one punch. Anyway, speaking of getting knocked out in one punch,